Today we have a very interesting lesson that we're going to go through talking about the untold truths about being an adult, expectations versus reality. All right, this is a very interesting class I usually have in my adult classes and it brings a lot of conversations because we think of life in a certain way when we're growing up, especially when we are a teenager and we're like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult because then no one can tell me anything. I can be independent, I can be certain things. And when we get to becoming a adult, things are in bursts or in small little segments of our life exactly what we think it to be. But then there's also a reality that we start to realize is more powerful. So, this is what we're going to go through today. But first, let me just say welcome to Stefan English, where here I try to do English right. I'm currently living in Poland, and what I found here is that it's hard to speak English with people. So I decided, you know what? I am going to put my classes online. And here in this segment of my classes, what I will be doing is just going through some of the conversations because that's what I mainly focus on in my classes, developing vocabulary, helping and improving my students' reading, and also giving them the confidence to be able to talk with people. Right? So here's a segment that we will go through where we will do vocabulary first, reading second, and then last but not least, we will do discussion questions, conversation questions. So, first words I have for us to start with will be the first word independence. Independence is the ability to live and make decisions without needing help from others. So, that's basically when you are able to do things by yourself. You're able to do things by yourself, think for yourself, and this is what we called independence. Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. Feeling like there is too much to handle. Overwhelmed, a simple word we can say, it's like, oh my God, I am stressed. So, overwhelmed, meaning stress. I feel like if there's too much for you to handle, right? So, we can say stressed as well. Fulfilling. Fulfilling, making you feel happy and satisfied because you are doing something meaningful. Meaningful here can mean something that gives you gives you meaning, gives you meaning, or as we like to say, follow your passion. Something that you are passionate about. All right, so fulfilling. Something that you're passionate about normally makes you feel fulfilled. It makes you feel like, oh, I am where I need to be. So normally when we feel that way, it is we are usually have that feeling of fulfillment, right? Deadlines. Deadlines, the time or date by which something must be finished. So you have a deadline. Your assignment needs to be finished tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So the deadline would be tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So that is what deadlines are. Budget. Budget, a word that we did not like when you first start to become an adult. Budget, a plan for how to spend or save your money. So this is when you say, okay, this amount of money is going into food, this amount of money is going into bills, this amount of money is going here, and then I'm going to save the rest of this. So that is what we would call a budget. Expenses, the money the money you spend on things like rent, food, or transportation. So basically, that money that takes money out of your pocket. So those things that take money out of your pocket. So for example, we have to go buy groceries so that we can eat. We have to put gas in the car. You have to pay for our apartment or a house if you're living in those things. So either you're paying rent because you're living someplace where you don't own it, or you're paying a mortgage because you've decided this is the place I want to live in for maybe the rest of your life or for a large period of your life. So that will be what are expenses. It's things like food or rent or transportation. Basically, it are things that take money out of your pocket or take money from you when you make your money, when you make your salary or your wage or whatever you do. All right. Priorities. Priorities. Things that are more important than others. These are basically the things that are the most important things. So priority is to go to work. So instead of sometimes going and relaxing, you decide, okay, I need to find a way to get to make some money. So going to work. So going to work would be the priority instead of staying at home and relaxing and maybe watching some Netflix. Right? So the priority would be to go to work. Effort. Effort, the energy or time you put into doing something. So the effort. So he made a huge effort to put the ball in the basket. So you decided, okay, instead of just doing it once, you did it about 50 times until you got it correct. So you put and so the energy or time you put into doing something. So that will be it. So if you're learning English, you don't just do it once and then you're like, okay, I'm finished with learning English. The effort you have to put into learning English is sometimes maybe daily, and if it's daily, it can be for many years, especially if you want to get to a very good level. All right. Next one, resilient. Resilient. I know when you see it, it's like resilient, but this word is pronounced resilient. Yes, resilient, but resilient. The pronunciation is resilient. So being able to recover quickly from challenges or difficulties. So being able to recover quickly from challenges or difficulties. So say for example, you're running a race and you fell down and you're hurt badly, but you decide I'm going to get up and I'm going to continue running that race. When someone speaks about you and you finish that race, they may say, oh, he or she was very resilient because they had a bad fall, but they got up and they fought and they got up very quickly and decided, I'm going to finish this race. So the being able to recover quickly from challenges or difficulties, right? That is you being resilient. Uncertainty. Uncertainty. This is something we have a lot as being an adult, not knowing what will happen in the future. As an adult, when you have to make your own decisions, you sometimes don't know what will happen. That you think, okay, this may happen, and then sometimes that does not even plan out the way you want it to be. So, uncertainty, not being not being certain, or let's say not being certain, or things are not clear. Things are not clear. So I said, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, man. I just don't know. All right, so that will be it there. So we have independence, overwhelmed, fulfilling, deadlines, budgets, expenses, priorities, effort, resilient, and the last one we have here is uncertainty. Now, as normally what happens in my readings, we may find a couple more words that I may not have highlighted. And what I will do is just highlight them and see now if I can explain them a little bit more to those guys that decide, okay, I'm gonna watch Stefan and see what he's doing. So let's start here with this first one. Paragraph one, independence isn't always easy. As children, many of us imagine adulthood as a time of complete freedom. We think about making our own decisions, living our own homes, and doing whatever we want. While independence is exciting, it also comes with responsibilities. Adults have to manage bills, work schedules, and unexpected problems. Instead of feeling free, many adults feel overwhelmed by these challenges. Work isn't always fun. Many people expect their jobs to be fulfilling and enjoyable. They dream of a career where they can follow their passions and feel appreciated. However, the reality is often different. Jobs can be stressful and tight deadlines, long hours, sorry, jobs can be stressful with tight deadlines, long hours, and difficult co-workers. Not every job feels rewarding, and sometimes people work just to pay their bills, not because they love what they do. Financial freedom requires planning. One exciting part of being an adult is earning your own money. Adults can decide how to spend and or save their income. However, financial freedom also requires careful planning. There are many costs such as rent, food, transportation, and emergencies. Without a budget, it's easy to spend more than you earn. Learning to save money and control spending is an important part of adult life. Friendships can change. Ooh, friendships can change. As children or teenagers, we often imagine that our friendships will last forever. However, adult life is busy and people's priorities change. Work, family, and other responsibilities can make it harder to spend time with friends. Some friendships may fade, while others require effort to maintain. On the bright side, adulthood can also bring new, meaningful connections with people who share your interests and value. Life is full of uncertainty. Adults often think they will have everything figured out, but life is full of surprises. Plans can change and problems may arise without warning. This can be stressful, but it also helps adults become more resilient. Learning to adapt to change and accept uncertainty is a valuable skill. Instead of fearing the unknown, adults can use it as an opportunity to grow and learn. All right, so I've had a couple, we've ventured minute, and now I've underlined a few words here that I think may be able to go through and explain a little bit more. So let's start with the first word here in paragraph two, appreciate. So it says they dream of a career where they can follow their passions and feel appreciated. So this word appreciated, it usually means like you feel recognized and full of worth, right? So it means that you feel like someone sees the value in you. So you feel like you're valuable, right? So you feel valuable, you feel like you're the prize, you feel important, right? That's another word we can use here. You feel important. So they dreams are the dreams of a career where they can follow their passions and feel appreciated or feel important or valued. Right? So we got those words that you can put there. However, the reality is often different. Jobs can be stressful with tight deadlines. So let's go through this word tight now. Tight means like it's fixed. It's like it's not going to change. These things are not changing. But now, if we talk about tight deadlines, these are now when we are not able to change it. It's like it we so it's like you're very limited. You have a short amount of time. So it's nothing, it's flexible. There's nothing that can move. That is it in most cases. So very limited deadlines. All right, let's go to the next one. Imagine. Imagine. So, as children or teenagers, we often imagine that our friendships will last forever. So, imagine is like we have also always assumed or taught that we always thought that our friendships will last forever. We always thought that our friendships will last forever. So, it's like we were dreaming. So, we often dreamed as well. So it's like we dreamt. So we dreamt that we often dreamt that our friendships will last forever. So it's like, oh my God, man, when I get older, me and you gonna be friends forever, best friends forever, all right? Not to break it to you, but sometimes that does happen. But because of how a lot of our lives change, it doesn't always plan out that way. I'll give myself as an example. The friends I have in had in primary school, I don't have now because I'm no longer living in the country I was born in. Okay, so this happens too because obviously people change locations, and then people just have different things that are very important to them. So then what you thought would have happened, as in your friendships lasting forever, may not happen. Now, next word I have here is a very interesting word, fade. So, the word fade is usually talking about something that maybe just slowly going away. So, slowly disappearing, if you want to use it that way. So, it's like slowly going away, slowly going away. So, let's think of it if you're driving away from something, you slowly start to not see it anymore. So by you slowly not starting to see it, by you slowly not seeing it anymore, it's starting to fade away, start to slowly going away that you can't see it anymore. All right. If you look at it, if you're walking, you left your house. If you walk for, or you get in a car or do anything where you're leaving the place that you live, after a while, you're not going to see it anymore. So your house, your place may start to fade into the background, will fade in between the trees, fade in the road, fade these things. So you're slowly not seeing it anymore. All right. So some friendships may fade, which means some friendships may slowly start to go away. All right. While others require effort to maintain. Right? Maintain. I think we went through this one in a different topic that we did. Maintain basically means keep the same way or keep looking the same way basically or keep in the same. So being able to keep things in the same. So keep it up. So keep things up to standard, as we like to say. Keep things up to standard. Keep up standard. So if you want to, as I think I used last time, if you want to maintain a car, you're going to make sure that the oil is checked, the brakes are checked. You wash it to make sure that the body still looks good. You're going to clean it as well. So you will do things to keep it maintained. All right. Next one. Now we have a phrasal verb here. Phrasal verb here called figured out. Figured out. And this means basically is that you realize something. Or let's look at the contents of how it's used in this sentence. Adults often think they will have everything figured out. So it means basically that, oh, we can work this out. We can figure this out, meaning we can work it out. So work it out. So this is what this means here. Basically that you believe, yeah, man, we can get this worked out. We can figure it out. We can solve a problem. We can understand what is happening, and we can find a way to answer or to get this problem solved. Or another word we can use is we can find a solution to the problem. All right. But life is full of surprises. And when we say full of surprises, we're basically saying that basically sometimes we do not know what will happen. But life is full of things that we don't know will happen. Because what are surprises? Surprises are things that we did not expect happening. All right. So we did not know that this would be happening. So, for example, a surprise birthday party. You come home expecting that everything is just going to be the way it is, and then surprise, and then you're having a birthday party when you maybe just want to go to bed, right? So you're having a birthday party full of surprises. So yeah, so adults often think they will have everything worked out instead of work it out here, but life is full of unexpected are things that we will not know will happen. All right, so surprises. It's full of things we don't know will happen. Now, plans can change and problems may arise. Arise meaning that plans may start to come from nowhere. These things may start to come from nowhere. So arise, come from anywhere. Anywhere. So problems may come from anywhere without warning. So without warning meaning without letting you know. Letting you know. So you do not know what's happening. So it's like it's not you do not know. There's no nothing bringing it to your attention. It just pops up, and it's like, whoa, what is happening around me? So yeah, plans can change and problems may come from anywhere or arise without warning, without letting you know, right? This can be stressful, but it also helps adults become more resilient. Learn to adapt. Adapt. Now, adapt basically means to change, to make something suitable. So it's adapt means here to change, but so adapt means this word as well, to change. But we want to say learning to change and accept. So you say learning to adapt, basically you have to find a way to work with, adapting here, find a way to work with something, to change and accept uncertainty is valuable. We went through this, what another word we can use here. Valuable will be similar to important. So you can learn a valuable or an important skill. All right. Instead of fearing the unknown, adults can use it as an opportunity to grow and learn. So opportunity to grow and learn. So opportunity is a time or set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. So opportunity is basically another word for you get a chance. You get a chance to grow and learn. So instead of saying I get the chance to do this and do that all the time, you get the opportunity. You get a chance, you have an opportunity. So right now I have the opportunity to teach English vocabulary online, seeing that we have a platform like YouTube and other social media. 20, 50 years ago, we could not do this. I would have to be teaching English on the TV, and it was a lot harder to do that because not many people would have had the opportunity or the chance to do it. All right. So this is exactly what it is here. Cool. So now we have just gone through some vocabulary words. This one is a pretty long one on the vocabulary. But we have the independent, overwhelming, fulfilling, deadlines, budgets, expenses, priorities, effort, resilient, uncertainty, and then we also have this one here, meaningful, right? So you guys can go through the video, and then if you got to this end and you not remember, we can go back over that. We can go that you can start to understand. I know it was a lot of vocabulary here, but it will hopefully have helped you understand a lot of the vocabulary. So we went through the word appreciated, which can also mean valued or important in this context, but appreciate usually talks about things that are going up in value. So feeling like if you're worth something, right? Tight is usually like, oh my god, my this shirt is so tight. So it's like things are it's close onto you. But in this case, tight deadlines meaning you don't have a lot of time to do things. So, for example, you've been given an assignment, you've been given something to do at work, and then, okay, I need this by the end of the day tomorrow. But you just gave me 20-page long document. What do you want me to do? Am I supposed to drop everything? Right? So, you have been given a tight deadline to finish it by tomorrow. Right? So that is what it means. It's like 20 pages I gotta go through by tomorrow. Man, I got other work to do. Right? So that's what it is, man. She's giving me some tight deadlines. All right. Then we have imagine. Basically, it's like you had a thought or you dreamt about something. So, for example, we have our dream life, or I can imagine me doing this and me living in different countries, these kind of things. So it's like you dreamt of you doing that, or you thought of you would be doing that. Then we have fade, something slowly going away that basically you cannot see it anymore. So some friendships may fade. Basically, the- it's the, okay. If you have a friend from high school, you used to see them every day. When you leave high school, you may see them every few weeks. When then you have children, you may see them every month, and then your job is getting more demanding, and then maybe you only see them once every 6 months. So look at how that friendship has slowly started to fade away. All right, it's you still have the friendship, but you do, it's not like it was when you were younger or how it was before. Then we have maintain, keep up to standard, keep up how it is, things like that. Figure it out. We have to work something out, to work it out. Full of surprises, meaning that it's full of uncertainty or full of things not being clear, or I don't know what will happen. And then we have arise, so plans can change and problems may arise. So problems may come from anywhere. All right. Without warning, letting you know what is, without letting you know that something is happening or something is wrong. All right. Then we have adapt, meaning to work with someone, or in some cases, it can mean to change. How do we adapt? Accept, being able to agree, or you say, okay, I can do this, being okay with something. Valuable skill. So uncertainty is a valuable skill. So learning to adapt to change and accept uncertainty is a valuable skill. So valuable, it can be very important skill. And then opportunity, last word here we have is talking about the word chance. So you're able to get a chance to do something or the opportunity to do something. All right, so now let's see. We have a couple discussion questions. I'll go through one or two of them and then see if we can do it from each paragraph. So, let's see, number two, how do you think adulthood is different? Oh, let's say this is one. Number two, how do you think adulthood is different from childhood? Oh, to me, it is totally different. Where as a child, we were able to, if we made any decisions, we had our parents to fall back on. Things were not like they are when you become an adult, where if you made a bad decision, mom and dad were coming to save you. As an adult, they you have to live with whatever happens, and sometimes it can be the worst decision or a bad decision to make. That's sometimes you don't know any better, so you usually make it. As a child, we had a lot more freedom. We didn't have to make a lot of life changing or decisions. But as an adult, you have to make a lot of decisions and hope, and this is a very important word, hope that they're good decisions. So that will be it there. All right, number seven, what is the best part of making your own decisions? Not having to hear your parents complain if it's a bad one. That's the best part. But there's also a bad part to that, where if you make the bad decisions, like, oh, you have to live with it. And oh my God, it can be very bad sometimes. All right, work isn't always fun. So let's see. What do you think makes a job enjoyable? Funny enough, since I've been working for almost 20 years, I found that work, the job itself is not what makes it fun in some cases. It's usually the people around you that that create the environment that makes the job fun. It's funny how the environment is more important than what you do in most cases. Because what I've learned is that most of the time we take jobs not because we enjoy what they are, but we just want to make some money. So we want to be able to pay our bills, handle our expenses, and because there is a job open, we apply for it. Might not be what we really want to do in our life. So having a very good environment can make the job enjoyable. All right. So let's see. The school on financial freedom requires planning. Let's see. Number six, how do emergencies affect financial plans? Emergencies are things that are usually unexpected, things that happen in your life. And sometimes these can affect financial plans because when we save money, yes, we may have an emergency fund, but sometimes we do not know how much this emergency we may have may cost. So yes, we have money saved, we have money in an emergency fund if you have an emergency fund. And then something happens that can destroy everything. And it can affect your financial plans because you have to spend more money than you expected to. Many times I have had emergencies where it has completely destroyed my savings. If it might have been maybe a car problem, uh, dealing with some other things personal in life, and then I wasn't able to maybe pay the full amount of my rent, or if and even if not, I was able to pay my rent, by means I could not eat the same way I was eating normally. So sometimes emergencies can affect your financial plans by changing, and then you have to change certain things about your lifestyle. So yeah, this is very important here. How that this is very important here, and it can, especially as an adult, it can make being an adult not fun, not fun at all. All right. So I'm going to stop here with these questions. If you guys want to go through these questions with me, you know what you guys can do. You guys can send me a message. I think I have all my information here. My email address is info@stefanenglish.com.pl, or you guys can send me a message on my website, stefanenglish.com.pl, and we can go through these conversations together. And I think these will be very nice, especially with adults. Really love this conversation with adults, because yes, it can get a little bit vulnerable, but it's a very nice topic that we can talk about as an adult and have conversations about it. So this is all we're gonna do for today, guys. As I normally say, if you like what we're doing here, please like, subscribe, and also if there's a notification bell you guys can hit that you guys can always see. I'm gonna try to do this here weekly, so every Monday I try to at least post these videos. So hopefully the guys will be able to enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Guys, take care, have a wonderful day, and as I always try to do here, I always try to make sure that we do English right. So if this helps you, please let me know, and I really appreciate to see and hear how you guys are feeling about what I'm doing. All right, thank you for now. You guys have a great day.